Bassanio. Of course, if you can find a wife. Gratiano. Thanking your lordship, you have found me one. He takes Nerissa's hand. My eyes, my lord, are just as swift as yours. You saw the mistress, I spotted the maid. You loved, I loved. Your fortune depended on the caskets there, and so did mine, as it happened. I wooed until I sweated and swore oaths of love until my mouth ran dry. At last I got a promise of her hand from this fair lady here, on the condition that you won her mistress. Portia. Is this true, Nerissa? Nerissa. Madam, it is, if you are pleased. Bassanio. Do you mean it? Gratiano. Do you mean it, Gratiano? Gratiano. Yes, indeed, my lord. I'm sorry, guys, the way this is viewed. It is just because it's a digital copy that things get kind of confused here. This continuing. Bassiano. Our wedding feast will be most honored by your marriage. Gratiano to Nerissa. We'll bet them 1,000 ducats that we have a son first. Nerissa blushing. What? Betting on that? Gratiano teasing. We'll never win if we don't get started soon. Lorenzo and Jessica enter, followed by Celerio, who is carrying a letter. But who is this? Lorenzo and Jessica? What? And my old Venetian friend Celerio? Bassanio. Lorenzo and Celerio, welcome. If one so new in my status here can do so, I bid you welcome. To Portia, with your permission, sweet Portia. Portia. They are entirely welcome, my lord. Lorenzo to Bassanio. I thank your honor for my part. I did not plan to see you here, but I met Celerio on the way, and he begged me to come along. He wouldn't take no for an answer. Celerio. I did, my lord, with good reason. He gives Bassanio the letter. Antonio sends his respects. Bassanio. Before I open his letter, tell me how my good friend is doing. Celerio. Not sick unless it's in his mind, yet not well either, unless you mean mentally. His letter explains his situation. Bassanio opens the letter. Graziano, nodding towards Jessica. Nerissa, cheer up, our stranger. Bid her welcome. Nerissa greets Jessica while Graziano shakes hands with Celerio. Your hand, Celerio. What's new in Venice? How is Antonio getting along? I know he will be happy for us. Celerio. He'll be happy for you, I'm sure, but things are not going so well for him. He takes Graziano to one side to explain. Portia observing Bassanio as he reads. There are some sad contents in that letter that rob the color from Bassanio's cheek. Some dear friend dead? What, worse? She touches his arm. With respect, Bassanio, I am half yourself. I will freely share half of any trouble this letter brings you. Bassanio. Sweet Portia, here are some of the saddest words that ever blotted paper. Dear lady, when I first told you of my love, I freely confessed that all my wealth ran in my veins. I was a gentleman, so I told you the truth, and yet, dear lady, when I told you I had nothing, you see, that I was bragging. I should have told you that I had less than nothing. Actually, I am indebted to a dear friend who lent me money, borrowed from his worst enemy. Here is a letter, lady. The paper represents my friend's body, and every word in it gaping wound, leaking his life's blood, but it is true. Celerio, that is that all his investments have failed, not one success from Tripoli, Mexico, England, from Lisbon, Barbary, India, not one ship escaped the dreadful touch of shipwrecking rocks? Celerio, not one, my lord. Besides, it seems that even if he could pay the loan, the Jew would not take the money. I never knew a creature in human form, so remember they always refer to Shylock as the Jew because they are very anti-Semitic, they're very prejudiced, and they use that this way to show that they have no respect for him, right? They use a very disrespectful way to refer to Shylock by calling him by his religion. So sharp and hungry to destroy a man, he appeals to the Duke morning and night. He says it is unlawful to deny him justice. The Duke, the nobles, and 20 merchants have argued with him, but he won't listen. Jessica. When I lived with him, I heard him swear that he'd rather have Antonio's flesh than 20 times the amount he owes. I know, my lord, if any law, authority, and power don't stop him, it will go hard with poor Antonio. Portia. Is Antonio your dear friend? Bassanio. My dearest friend, the kindest man, the best meaning, and the most tireless of those who do good deeds. He is one with more Roman honor in him than any man in Italy. Portia. How much does he owe the Jew? Bassanio. On my behalf, 3,000 ducats. Portia. No more? Pay him 6,000. No times that. And then 3 times that. No friend of that description shall lose a hair through Bassanio's fault. First go with me to the church and call me wife. Then go to Venice to your friend. You shall not lie by Portia's side with a troubled spirit. Take enough gold to pay the petty debt 20 times over. When it is paid, bring your true friend here. Nerissa and I will live as maids and widows until you come back. Away now. You must leave on your wedding day. Bid welcome to your friends. Smile, since you are dearly bought. I'll love you dearly. Let me hear your friend's letter. Bassanio reading. Dear Bassanio, my ships have all been wrecked. My creditors grow cruel as my assets are low. My bond to the Jew is forfeit in paying it. I cannot possibly live, but all debts between us will be cleared. If at my death I could but see you, even so do as you wish. If your love for me does not persuade you to come, don't let this letter do so. Portia, oh my love, hurry to him. Bassanio, since you have given your consent, I'll go, but until I return, I will neither sleep nor rest. Everyone hurries off. Okay, so remember, Antonio had money in trade ships and they all sank. And he has gone out of his way to always torment Shylock in any way. So Shylock doesn't really care about the money that he is out. He just sees this as a way to exact revenge on Antonio because Antonio has always looked for a way to embarrass or dismiss or attack Shylock. But Bassanio doesn't want that to happen. Doesn't want his friend to die. He will lose a chunk of a physical 1 pound of flesh from his body that would most likely kill him. So Antonio thinks he's going to die, and he just wants Bassanio to come and to say goodbye to him before he has to go and die for Shylock.